Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Terminator 4. This new version brings in a couple of cards from the new set to go along with the Synthesizer and Ugin package. That's right, we're bringing the cards that were smashing opponents. And the new cards we've brought on are going to help us deliver even more pain. The intelligence might be artificial, but the beatings are real. Let's get in there. We're playing the full set of Authority of the Consuls, the 1 mana enchantment that gives us a life every time an enemy enters play. The important part here, though, is that those enemy men will enter play tapped. That complicates things for the opponent, as they cannot play men out and have them available to block. If they want blockers, they need to plan 2 turns ahead, and that is something that opponents seem to have trouble doing. And with enemy men entering play tapped, that completely negates enemies with haste. 3 steps ahead is a staple of our synthesizer decks. It gives us 3 options, all of which could help us during a game. But the one we're really looking to use is the copy mode. With it, we can copy any one of our men or artifacts. Ideally, we make a token synthesizer and then use a helm to keep making factories until the opponent cries and smashes their keyboard. A counterspell is always a good option, and here we can use it to stop any cards that might take out our board advantage. The final option gives us a way to dig through our deck to help find cards we need. Cryogenic Relic is an outstanding 2-drop. It's a weapon we plan to deploy against shuffler specials. If we're stuck on lands, we can use it to get at least 2 additional draws to help us find more land. And we can use it to tap down an enemy for a turn now, and that might be enough to buy us the time to fire back. Perilous Snare is an excellent artifact removal. We can use it to take out any non-land permanent the opponent has played out. And when we get to max Verstappen speed, we can use the snare to add stat-boosting counters to our men. While our robot overlords might not need the enhancement, we do have several men this time around that could benefit from the boost. Split Up is our one-sided sweeper. With an authority in play, it is possible that the majority of enemies will be tapped, and we can use the Split Up to take out all of the opponent's future blockers, leaving them in a tight spot. We can wipe enemies while leaving our own forces untouched. The Synthesizer is our key card. We want to get 1 or more in play and generate an army of robot overlords. Our AI men are very effective at taking down life totals. All hail our robot overlords. The Helm is the perfect companion to the Synthesizer. With it, we can make a token copy of any token artifact we already have. We can make copies of robot overlords, but if we manage to make a copy of one of our artifacts like the factory or a snare, we can keep making token copies until we blow their mind. But that's not all. With every token artifact we generate, the Helm also makes a map token. We generally build up a pile of map tokens which all serve to increase the stats of our robot overlords. Bender's Waterskin is a mana artifact that we can tap for any color. The reason we've gone with the Waterskin over similar mana artifacts is the fact that this will untap during the opponent's turn. That gives us extra mana to use for a counterspell, to activate the Helm and make a copy, or fire off an Ancestral Recall. Hedron Archive is a 2nd mana artifact. This one will provide us with 2 colorless mana, and we can pay 2 mana and sacrifice it to draw a pair of fresh cards. This is mana when we need it and extra cards when we don't. Emeritus of Ideation is one of the new cards we've brought on to help us put the hurt on the opponent. The Emeritus is a big boy with flying and a hefty ward. Plus, it enters prepared so we can fire off the Ancestral Recall and draw 3 cards for just 1 mana. The Classic has returned for the first time in Standard since it was first printed. And keep in mind that a 3 steps ahead can make a token copy of the Ideation that will come with yet another Ancestral Recall. Someone likes drawing cards. Don and Leo are not just problem solvers, but they can help us generate robot overlords and with additional card draw. With them in play, we get to blink an artifact and one of our men. Blinking an artifact that is 3 mana will get us more robot overlord, or we can blink a relic and draw a fresh pair of cards. Blinking the Emeritus refreshes it, and we can fire off another Ancestral Recall. Every option is good when we have a solid board. Restoration Seminar is a card we've already used in the Spirit of Vengeance 2. It's a great way to get our cards back from the grave for another go. even having our stuff wiped is not enough. And thanks to the paradigm, we get a free copy of this spell at the beginning of each of our turns to keep getting permanents back until we can achieve victory. Ugin, Eye of the Storms, is a powerful weapon that gives us removal as well as extra cards and a bit of life. His presence alone alters the board state and tilts the game in our favor. We do have enough colorless cards to take advantage of his exile ability, and that in turn can make his ultimate into a one-sided board wipe. Plenty of opponents will scoop it up before we can resolve the Eye of the Storms. Krang, Utrom Warlord, is a massive weapon. The goal is to play him out either for free with the help from Ugin, or to drop him in with a board loaded with factories. Once he hits, all our robot overlords get his 4 signature abilities. Flying makes our men harder to block, and even if they can block up, Trample makes damages a guarantee. Haste lets them swing in right away, and Indestructible lets our AI men laugh off removals and board wipes that destroy. All that to say that it's likely GG's if Krang lands. For lands, we're playing 2 Fountain Port, the special land that can generate tokens or fat sack them for an extra draw. 4 Meticulous Archive, the Azorius Surveil land. 4 Flood Farm Verge, the Plains that becomes a duel when we have a Plains or Island in play. 6 Island, 6 Plains, and 2 Adagia, Windswept Bastion, the special land that we can use to make a token copy of one of our artifacts, but only after we station 12 power worth of men. Playing the deck is fun when you have so many powerful weapons at our disposal. Sure, our top end is amazing, but our factories are powerful also. That makes for a strong deck from our mid-game through the late game if the game goes that long. Our early game is our weakness, which is why we've gone with the Authority to help us against early enemies. Split Up is only 3 mana, so we can fire it off early if the opponent is off to a very fast start. Once we hit the mid-game, our strong plays should hold us up and get us to change the course of the game. Even if the opponent manages to survive into the late game, that's when our deck is at its strongest. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Hugo. Can you shut the F up? That's what he can do. Is he clowning us? We're kicking things off with a 4-lander. We do have our top end early, so we've got that going for us. We'll risk it and give it a shot. We do have a couple of extra draws thanks to the relic. Keep your hopes up. Drawing a Waterskin is never bad when we have Ugin in hand. That gets us to 5 mana already. Our Rakdos opponent is holding nothing but removals. That's a tough way to play. They must hate their life and their pants. Our Surveil land shows us an Emeritus on top. We'll take it. We'll eat our relic for another draw. We're sure they'll have plenty of removals, but removals are awful against our Seminar. Let's make them do something for the first time this game. This will give us a look at their removals. We can wait to fire off our Ancestral Recall. It is an instant after all. They dump a card to hit our Emeritus. Let's draw 3 fresh ones. We get our 7th land along with a factory. We'll drop Krang. We can just get him back with our Seminar. The opponent is so outclassed already, and we've barely done anything. They fire off a Defossilize, and they'll get something back from the grave. It's all good. Reanimator is a weakness, but we've got stuff for their men. We'll make sure their guy doesn't have any secret ward ability or anything. You know, we have to get our factory going, then we can follow up with the Snare. They will lose their guy, and we'll gain a robot overlord. And we even have mana left over for our Authority. Let's make their blocking schemes a bit more difficult to put into practice. They demand answers. That's nice and all. But from how the graves all look, I think we can out-reanimate a Reanimator deck. They hit our first robot overlord with another removal. Better use those while you can. Krang gives our men indestructible along with a few more abilities that hurt so good. Let's show them how it's done. We'll fire off our seminar and get Krang. Thanks to our authority, their big boy will enter tapped and won't have a chance to swing in. Damages, bro? Damages? Big boy pants you should have brought. They poop it and scoop it, that's GG's extra Krang cheese. This is LTG. He's into playing MTG. It says he's seasoned. With salt and pepper, we get a shuffler special with a relic and our rather heavy top end. To make it even sweeter, we are without any blue mana. Keep your pants. Just kidding. This is a mull. Dear Mother of God, what in the shuffler is this? Clearly Arena wants LTG to win this one. We're not going to get a fair shake, so we're keeping this one. Keep. Let's ship one of the authorities. We should be fine with only 2. We draw a 3rd land right away, which does help. We won't be stuck on 2 lands, and we'll have the capacity to fire off our split up later once we drop our Waterskin. They're going with the Terminus. So far LTG seems to be on mono black, which is weak against our insanity. That's an Annex. Demon Black is alright, but LTG will struggle if we draw some of our weapons. We get an Emeritus, which is huge. If we can draw into 1 more land, we'll have enough to play it out and fire off the Ancestral right away. All we need is 1 more land. They go with a core, it'll turn their card draw and pain into card draw and drain. Plus, if we don't have any blockers up, they can activate the core and send it. My pants are sturdy, we can take it. He follows up with a demon wall for good measure. For now at least, it's a bit of life gain. We draw a helm and we've arrived at an ugly decision point. We could smash their wall, or we could drop in our helm and prepare for our future turns. Or we could drop the Emeritus. Keep in mind that our Waterskins will untap, so even if they have a removal, we'll be able to draw 3 instantly. I do like the Emeritus plan, but I'm a big fan of preparing for the future. Let's go with the helm. They can't kill us during their turn. Let's just be prepared. They power up their wall, it's ready to rumble in for a big hit. There's nothing we can do about the damages. We're eyeballing our later turns. We draw another land, and this time the decision is easy. We have to play out the Emeritus. While we could wait and hold our mana up, let's draw 3 right away. We need something, and we need it now. That gets us a snare, a 3 steps ahead, and a seminar. The snare is great, though. That could save our bacon. They fire off a removal to snipe our Emeritus, but that's fine. Once we have enough for our seminar, we'll get it back and we can get it every time they kill it off. So easy. Even an LTG could do it, or a caveman. That does leave them with only 3 mana, so they don't have much more they can do. They do manage a Madam Null. That's completely okay. We hit 7 mana so we can fire off the seminar once we have a bit of breathing room. For this turn, we want to start disabling their pain machine. The snare will take out their wall, and since Mono Black can't do a thing about opposing artifacts, it is gone for good. We shoved a wall into a cage. They fire off an intimidation tactics, but all that does is show LTG how we're about to wreck his board. Should have stuck to Street Fighter, bro. He probably thinks we're playing a pile of trash. They come down with a tragedy feaster. That's perfect. Of all the things they could have done, this was likely the worst. They can see our split up. It's not like it's hiding from them. LTG follows up with another annex, and this is where we strike. We'll use the copy mode to make a token snare. We'll snag their first annex, and then we have the Waterskins available to activate the helm, and we can snag their new annex by making another token snare. It's likely GG's at this point, but, you know, LTG likely thinks he's got it in the bag. And now we watch the Comedy Feaster. When you play one out and aren't prepared to pay the cost, it can be rather hefty to your board. We draw another 3 steps ahead. If we make a token copy of the helm, we can simply keep making helms and snares for eternity. They will never have a board. Wait, they scoop it up, in true LTG form. He's probably blocking us at this very moment. This is Hitachi. We know you're out there making televisions, bro. We know. We get a 3-lander with a relic and a helm as our early plays. Don and Leo are here as well, and with them we can get some card draw off the relic. This hand is advantage ready and capable. We'll give it a shot. Keep. Your pants on. They go with a spring leaf drum. It's kind of like a mana artifact. Kind of. Our relic draws us a 4th land. We're on schedule to make a relic token and copy it repeatedly with the helm. Big boy Ugin has arrived. He's a little bit early, but we're not afraid. He won't scrap their leaf drum, but he'll do just fine once we can drop him in. They play out a Harvester. Tell me without telling me that you've been traumatized by Mill. All their cards have been colorless so far. What's going on there? We draw a factory, and that will be our play. It's a little late. It would have been great as a turn 3 play, but it is our key card, so we love to see it. On top, we have a pair of lands. We do want them both. We have to get to 7 mana somehow, and we have enough power in hand that we can rock their head off. Well, surprise, surprise. They drop in their own factory. Maybe they were afraid we'd counter it. And let's be fair, we would have. We'll play our land then, quickly pass the turn. Let's hold up our mana for that instant synthesizer we all know and love. They play out a relic of their own. It is such a good card for those wanting to synthesize. They throw down an emissary escort, but I'm not into paying them. It's all yours, bro. Then they follow up with a memory guardian. They went with cheaper men and affinity to enhance their robot overlords. We're going with our tried and true helm to make a pile of synthesizers. After all, usually the one with the most factories wins. They send their squealer. He's going to cry when he meets the first of our AI men. Under our surveil land, we have a Waterskin. That would be our 7th mana. We'll keep both, and in that order. It's time for our helm, and it's also time to send it once we have another pair of robot overlords pop out the factory. They decide to take the hit, so we'll make another factory. Oopsie poopsie, bro. Should have thrown a block. That's a 15 spot we're putting on them. Instead of bringing the heat, they're going to have to think about blocking. This is why I love playing the helm and 3 steps ahead. This line of plays can be unbeatable. They get a second factory down, but it isn't going to be enough. They need to make an instant synthesizer, then make copies of it with a helm to compete. They need one more blocker to get another turn. And there it is. That will also get them a fresh pair of robot overlords, but their AI men are smaller than ours. Although the ladies say it isn't about size, but how you use it. Well, we're going to use it. They got one more synthesizer on their turn, but we're going to get two more. They refuse to see what else we got. That's GG's, extra factory cheese. This is Calamero. He's so thorny. He'll love you long time. We get a 3-lander with double relic, a helm, and a seminar. Double relic is what saves this hand. Keep your pants on. Especially you, Oppo. You thorny little bastard. They lead off with an authority. They've come prepared. We draw an authority of our own, but we'll still go with the Surveil land. That shows us a 3 steps ahead on top, and we'll keep it. They don't have a turn 2 play, but with our hand of double relic, we're not passing up a chance to drop one in. We draw another authority, and it's time to play one out. Then we can follow up with a relic for an extra bonus draw. That gets us a snare. We're set to start locking them out of the game with token snares and our helm. They hit 4 mana and impending out a white overlord. While it would normally be a big threat, we do have our snare that can take it out before it becomes an issue. We draw a Surveil land, and we really should play that out if we're going with the snare this turn. You can't copy the snare unless you have it in play. On top we have another land, but we'll bin this one. Let's try to get some action. We'll swerve and go with the helm. If they have a way to destroy artifacts, let them spend it on the helm instead of our snare. For some wacky reason, they fire off an Ultima. That could have been our snare going to the grave, so our suspicions were correct. Fall for it, we did not. And we draw a second snare, in case the first one goes belly up. It's time to snare their beefcake. They pulled the trigger on their Ultima a little too early. They drop in a Beza, but all it does is gain us 2 life. That giant block of text might as well not even be there. Now we'll snare Beza and their magical, pants. Anyone know if Beza wears pants? They fire off a Beyond the Quiet. They probably thought it was an Ultima. Oopsie poopsie, bro. Wrong answer. We draw a factory and we'll play it out. No, wait, they scoop it up out of embarrassment. That's GG's, snare and foresight cheese. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.